everybody. Welcome to Appreciation of Musical Literature Summertime. All right, we have a 10-week course here. My name is Mary Stupin. I will be your instructor for the course. And this is really a video that's going to help you navigate the course. I know when I first get into an online course as a student, it's always the navigation that's unfamiliar. Hopefully it will become familiar to you soon. I hope I've set this up in a way that you can get around very quickly. You will notice as we start to go through each assignment that they're all set up exactly the same way. So once you kind of get through Unit 1, all the rest of the units will make a lot more sense to you. So what I want to do first is go up to the left-hand corner in the Start Here tab and show you around a little bit. Okay, so you have a welcome letter. I'll let you read that whenever you get a chance. This tab will actually house this video. When I'm done making the video for you, I'm going to put it up here, and that's where you will find me. The course tabs, I'm going to be going over these one by one, but they're all here, and they give a little explanation here for what purpose they serve. Your syllabus, of course, you're going to want to read that very carefully. But what I really want to get to, first of all, is buying the text. This is the question that I get the most, and this is what the students have the most trouble with at the beginning of class. So here I have a couple of links for you. You can buy the textbook through the bookstore if you like. I actually find that it has a little bit better price. It is the Enjoyment of Music 12th edition shorter version 12S. So here's actually a link here if you want to purchase the text, if you want to do that through the publisher. If you do it through an outside source, Amazon or a book rental place or whatever else, you just have to make sure that you have total access. If you buy a hard copy of the book, or even if you buy online access from the bookstore, they will give you a code for total access. You need this. If you buy it from Amazon or you rent from Amazon or some other book rental site, I don't have a problem with that. I just want to make sure that you understand that you must purchase total access. You have to have it to be successful in the class. So let me show you a little bit about that just real quickly. Here's a video here in blue. If you'll just copy and paste that, it gives you directions on how to actually put in your total access code when you get it, so that you're able to get into the digital site.
To register for Norton Digital Products, first visit the digital landing page for your textbook.
Okay, I'm actually going to stop it right there because some of you might be like, well, that's really great, but you just said I have to visit a total digital landing page or whatever that was. So I have the other link here for you. It's this link right here. Actually takes us to the digital landing page. So you can go here, and right here in the middle where it says sign in, register a code, or purchase access, you can buy it if you need to. You can add that code for the first time. And that would be this button down here, but of course I've already registered, so I'm just going to sign in with my password. And that actually gets me into the page, and I'll be talking a little bit about that in just a moment. So just remember, you can go here and get the link that tells you how to access the digital landing page. And here it is actually, and where to put the code in and all that stuff. That's what this blue video is, and this orange one right here is actually the one that gets you to that digital landing page, and you will be using this particular link all throughout the summer term. Okay, so these two you will definitely be needing right off the bat. So go ahead and get your book, figure out what your access code is, how to get your access code from either the bookstore, your book that you purchased, or by purchasing it online. Go ahead and get to your digital landing page here and get that code in there, because we're going to need for you to get started in those digital products here very soon. Technical requirements, if you're worried about what you need to do as far as your computer setup, go ahead and copy and paste this in there. This actually comes right from the Crafton website. It'll give you a little bit of help in that direction. Now, to contact me, the first 3 weeks of this class, I'm actually out of town, but that doesn't mean you can't find me. I would need for you to go ahead and email me either through here in the course or through your student email. There's my email address right there, and I can either teleconference with you or email back and forth anything that you might need. I'm certainly available and will make myself readily available for you to help you. Actually, the first week of class, I'm still here. So if there's something that you need desperately, I can meet you on campus. So don't feel like I'm not available to you. I am always available to you and will do whatever I can to make you successful. All right, so there's my contact information. Now, how to proceed. I'm going to get to that in a moment, so let me show you around a little bit more and show you kind of what's going on. Here's a direct link to your syllabus. I strongly suggest reading that. It gives you a lot of the details of the course, but I'm also going to be telling you that right now. This course timeline tab tells you everything you need to know for the entire semester. I have it all set up for you. And I will have all of the units open so you may work on them anytime you want. This is a 10-week course, but we only have 7 units. So what I did is I set up Unit 1 to be open for 2 weeks to give you time to settle into the course, to understand kind of how things work, how to get your work done, to give you a little more time so you're not quite as rushed to that first unit of class. So that was actually open for 2 weeks, and you can see all of your due dates here. We have June 6th through 19th. Your discussion boards will be due that first weekend, so June 12th, a Sunday night by 11:59 p.m. And the rest of the work will be done on the 19th by 11:59 p.m. And that will be your reading, but you will have your 2 discussion boards and a quiz, and I'm going to be showing you that in Unit 1 directly. All the rest of the units are open for 1 week only. So Unit 2 and forward, all of you will have the first half of your work will be due on a Wednesday night, and the rest of your work will be due on a Sunday night. And this happens every single time, so you will get used to this pattern. Once we get out of Unit 1, everything else remains the same, except for the final exam, which is 4 days. But it's open right now, so you can take it whenever you want, but the final exam period is actually for 4 days at the end of the semester. Remember, you can always go back and rewind this recording if you feel like I went through this too fast. Don't worry, you will get the hang of it, and if you need help, of course, I'm here to help you. So let's go into assignments, and I'll explain this a little more carefully. This is really the tab you're going to be working with the most, and Unit 1 is obviously the one that you want to start with. Even though they're all going to be open for you, I would strongly suggest that you start with Unit 1 and work your way all the way through. All right, so if we go into Unit 1, you will see that you can scroll up and down in this unit, and I always suggest that you start at the top. I have all of your assignments in the order that you should be completing them, and of course the very first thing is your reading assignment. For Unit 1, it's going to be chapters 1 through 12, and then I have here kind of what you need to be paying attention to, and then what your assignments are for Unit 1. You have 2 discussion boards for this unit. This will not happen again. One is just an introductions, because I like for you guys to talk to each other and see who's in the class and get to know each other. So that's just kind of a fun one. It doesn't really count against your score. All you really have to do is just introduce yourself and talk to a couple of other people. But I'll be going over the discussions shortly. So there's your 3 tasks for this particular unit. Now, the next thing that I always have are video lectures, and they were in 15-minute formats because of the lecture capture that I use. It's in 15-minute increments. So here you have 2 video lectures, and I go through the text and I give you examples and I talk about the listening. So I strongly suggest that you listen to these and use them to your advantage, because you don't really have me in a classroom setting. So this is your availability to for me to help you digest this information, and I'm happy to do it, and I love actually talking to you guys, so this is my way of communicating this amazing material for you. Here, the featured video of the week, all this is kind of a culmination piece. Since this is a music course, I like to give you a performance of a piece of music that really features what we were talking about in the particular unit. So you really won't ever have to write on this, or it's really for nothing else and just something to listen to kind of give you something that pulls the entire unit together. So it's really just for your enjoyment and to give you a little more understanding of the different types of music we'll be discovering for every unit. External links is a place that I actually house a whole bunch of extra material. Whenever I do research for the course, I like to throw it up there to give you guys extra pieces of music, interesting websites that I found, really just extra information. There are a couple of times you will be using the external links in your discussion forum, but I will make that very clear to you where you need to go, what you need to do. So that's what that tab is. Here is a tutorial that tells you how to use the listening guides that are in the text and how to complete your first discussion forum. So really important that you look at these tutorials because I walk you through the question that you need to answer, where you can find the information to get the answer, and how to use the listening guides because we're going to be using those in your textbook a lot throughout the semester. So take a look at that video so it familiarizes you with the different features on your discussion forum and on your listening guide. That's really important. Here's a link to APA format, which I want you to cite your discussion boards in APA format. So take a look at that so that you know how to actually cite your sources. If you don't cite your sources, I give you a 0. So it's really important that you just tell me where you got the source. I don't mind, of course, that you're using other sources. Just make sure you show me where you got it and you're not just copying and pasting, that you're actually quoting and giving me the actual source for your information. If it's the book, that's fine. Just quote or give me the page number from the book and give me a bibliography at the bottom. That's fine, but just make sure that you are actually citing your sources. Here's your discussion board. If we click on that, it will go to the discussion board page. I have 2 discussion boards here for you. This is for any technical issues you might face and one for any content that you might have. These stay open the entire semester, and there might be some other students that have some questions, and sometimes the other students can answer the questions better than I can. So you might want to check these forums if you're running into any difficulty. Here's your introductions forum, and then your first actual discussion question. I always put at the bottom of each discussion when everything is due so that you're very clear about when your due dates are. But what I really ask is that when you do your original post, especially when we get here to the Britain's Young Person's Guide, that you give me a couple of solid paragraphs, a minimum of 10 sentences at least, that you give me examples that are going to back up your statement, that I know that you've listened to the piece and that you have some sort of understanding of what the music is about and the question that I'm answering. Not just a good job, I liked the piece, it was cool, or I didn't really like that very much. You really need to be specific about what I'm asking. Our first post discussion is due June 12th. That's going to be your major post where you're answering the question. And then your 2 replies are due June 19th. I do ask in your replies that you're not just giving me a good job. You need to give me a minimum of 5 sentences that talks about what you found in your peers' post that you liked, that made sense to you, maybe something you disagree with. So make sure that you're giving me some quality information in your replies as well. And you will have plenty of time to complete that. Once we get into the later units, you're going to see that you have 4 days after you post to get your replies in. So that'll be with Unit 2 and beyond. The one other thing I want to mention is actually very quickly here, as I've gone into Unit 2 for you, I wanted to show you, you're kind of back to back in the way you do these assignments. One week you'll have a discussion post, or for one unit you'll have a discussion post. For the next unit we do something called a wiki, and that's actually where you get to go in and create or edit another student's page. And you'll be doing 3 edits per wiki, and so you have one of those in Unit 2, Unit 4, and Unit 6. The first half of your wiki will be due the first half of the week by Wednesday night, and then the rest of the assignment is due on a Sunday night. And here's a tutorial in Unit 2 that tells you what a wiki is and kind of how it works. And if you have further questions on it once you get into it, of course you can email me and let me know. So hopefully this is a small guide into where you need to be going for the very beginning of class, and I look forward to meeting all of you.